Hey friends, welcome back to the MotoPress YouTube channel. I'm Valerie, and today we're tackling a confusing yet common issue. Why cannot guests book your accommodations? If this is what you're looking for, stay tuned. This video is for you. Have you ever set up your property rental site, checked the availability calendar, and thought, wait a second, why cannot guests book anything? For example, the dates are displayed as crossed out, or your accommodation types do not appear in the search results, or there are no book buttons. So indeed, one question we get all the time is why my dates in my calendar are unavailable for booking. And yep, it's a really common issue, but here is the good news. It's usually easy to fix. Let's break it down. So let's start with the easiest fix. If the book button is missing, there is usually a quick setting that's causing it. Now take a look. You should still see the View Details button. And when we open the single accommodation type page, the booking calendar looks fine. The dates show as available, but here is the thing. Your guests still cannot actually book anything. So what's going on? Well, here is how to fix it. From your WordPress dashboard, go to Accommodation, Settings, then under the General tab, scroll down until you find the section called Disable Booking. Now look for the option that says Hide Reservation Forms and Buttons. If that box is ticked, you found your culprit. Just untick it. Click Save Changes. Then go back to the front end. Refresh your page. And just like that, your book button should be back. Alright, now let's say the book button is visible, but your accommodations still cannot be booked. Why is that? Well, the plugin is treating them as unavailable, and for the property to be bookable, 3 things need to be in place: a physical accommodation, a pricing season, and at least one assigned rate to the search date. So first things first, go to Accommodation Types. Here, in the Accommodations column, you can see 2 things at a glance: how many accommodations you have and whether they are active. Before we move on, let's quickly clear up a common confusion. What's the difference between accommodation types and accommodations? Well, think of accommodation types as the kind of unit you offer, like a standard, single, a family suite, or a studio. Each type includes details like description, capacity, images, services, and amenities. You set that up once and it applies to all units of the type. You can also connect each accommodation type to rates, taxes, and fees, and booking rules. But if you stop at just creating accommodation types, your units will still not be bookable. You also need to create at least one active accommodation per type. So what's an accommodation? It's the actual physical unit guests will book, the real room, the real apartment, the real tent, if that's your thing. For example, if you have 3 identical single rooms, you'll create 1 accommodation type and 3 accommodations, each linked to that type. Now the good news is you don't have to create each one manually. There is a handy tool for that. Still on the accommodation type page, just click Generate Accommodations. choose the number you need, add a title, then click Generate. Done. If needed, you can edit it later. This tool is a time saver, especially when you have lots of similar rooms. You can also view the list of accommodations right from this page, or go to the main accommodations tab to see every unit across all types. Now all my rooms are bookable. Even if your property is open all year round, you still need to create seasons. So head to Accommodation, Seasons. This is where you divide your calendar into different pricing periods. And by the way, a season can be anything. It could be a weekend, a holiday week, the entire summer, or any stretch of dates that make sense for your business. Let's say your place gets super popular in the summer, but slows down in the winter. Well, you might want to raise prices during peak times and offer lower prices during the off season. Totally makes sense, right? But here is something important. If you're open year round, make sure your seasons cover the full year with no gaps. Because if there is even one day not covered by a season, your place won't be bookable on that date. Now, don't worry about prices just yet. You'll add those later under rates. That's also where you'll set up the season priority if your seasons happen to overlap. Oh, and one more thing. If you want this season to repeat next year, you can select the annual option. Please note that annual repeats start on the season's start date and continue for 1 year from the current date. Want it to stop sooner? You can just pick an end date in the repeat until calendar. Last but not least, let's talk about rates. So let's say you've already checked everything else. Your accommodation type has active accommodations, your seasons are in place. Well, then the final step is to take a look at the rates menu. Now here's the issue. My standard single room doesn't have a rate set. And without a rate, no one will see the price, no one will be able to book it. So let's fix that together. I'm going to create a rate for it right now with you. And when it comes to rates, there is one mistake we see over and over again. Let me explain. Some users create different rates for the same accommodation type, but each rate has its own separate season. Sounds okay in theory, but in practice, it causes trouble. And here is why. Because if you set up two separate rates, one for summer and one for fall, guests won't be able to book across those seasons. For example, someone trying to book dates that start in late summer and end in early fall, they'll hit the wall. That's because the system sees the dates as belonging to two different rates, and it cannot merge them. So, what's the right way to do it? All your seasons, no matter how many, should be added within the same rate. That way, the plugin can offer continuous availability, even if the booking spans multiple seasons. Oh, and just to clarify, you can create different rates for the same accommodation type. Let's say you want a refundable and a non-refundable version, or maybe breakfast included, or a cheaper rate without breakfast. And that's totally fine, but every rate must include all your seasons, period. Otherwise, your calendar will look broken and guests won't be able to book. And we definitely don't want that. All right, now let's put this into action very quickly. I'm going to create a rate for my standard single room. To do that, I'll just click Add New Season Price. Super simple. And if you got multiple seasonal prices, you can quickly set their priority by dragging and dropping, or use the options like move to top, move to bottom, or move up or down. Also, don't forget this part. When you're creating rates, remember you can set different prices based on how many guests are staying, including special rates for children, and how many nights are booked. That's really handy for offering discounts for longer stays or smaller groups. Now, if you'd like a deeper dive into how pricing works, we've got full tutorials on this right here on our channel. Check the description below. I'll leave some helpful links for you there. And once you're done setting up your rates, go ahead and check the front end. And look at that, the availability calendar now shows up just fine. We can select the date, and the booking process works as expected. All right, let's wrap it up. If your accommodation isn't showing up in search, the book button is missing, or your calendar looks like it's on vacation, don't panic. Chances are it's one of three things. You've hidden the booking buttons without realizing it. You've created accommodation types but forgot to add actual units. You got gaps in your seasons, or you've split them across multiple rates. The fix? Check your settings, create active accommodations, cover your whole calendar with seasons, and most importantly, keep all your seasons inside one rate. Don't matter how many seasons you have, they should all live under the same rate. But once everything's in place, your booking system will run like clockwork. Book buttons will show up, guests can pick their dates, and your property will finally be ready to take reservations. If this video helped you out, give it a like. It lets us know we're on the right track. Got questions? Drop them in the comments. We read them all. And hey, if you want more tips, tutorials, subscribe to the MotoPress channel and hit that bell so you never miss a bit. Thanks for watching and see you next time.